What is going on, everybody, and I hope you're enjoying your Thursday evening. This is MYG Jeffy T85 here, and Vince McMahon is back in the news again, and however you want to take it, this is not the best thing you want to hear from the WWE, is that Vince McMahon is still planning on returning to the WWE, and his main goal for returning to the WWE is to sell the company. According to the WallStreetJournal, McMahon, who has majority voting power through the ownership of the WWE's Class B stock, he has told company officials that he is electing himself and two former co-presidents and directors, Michelle Wilson and George Barrios, who were part of the board of directors back when Vince McMahon was in charge of the WWE before he brought it down to his daughter, Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, as well as Nick Khan, to the board. And this move is going to reinstate Vince McMahon, who was previously rebuffed in his request to be part of the board, and the others will require the three current directors to vacate their positions. McMahon is reportedly expecting to assume his role as executive chairman, but he would need the board to approve. At this point, it is not clear what this means for his daughter Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan, who are currently the co-CEOs of the WWE, and Stephanie is also the company chairwoman of the WWE. And more added on this story. The Wall Street Journal adds that Vince McMahon sent a letter to the board of directors back in December about his desire to return to the company and help spearhead a strategic review process. While McMahon is of the belief that there is a narrow window to kick off the sale process before they are about to enter negotiations for the next media rights deal. Vince McMahon just wants to come back to sell the WWE. Right when WWE is just about to get into the New Year's, heading towards the Royal Rumble, here comes Vince McMahon trying to get back into the WWE and trying to sell this company off. Lastly, from the Wall Street Journal, the board responded last month in a letter to Ms. McMahon that it was prepared to initiate a review process and would welcome working with him on it. However, it is said unanimously that agreed that Vince McMahon's return to the business wouldn't be in the best shareholders' interest, according to people familiar with the letters. Going further a little bit in this story, per the Wall Street Journal a little bit more, Vince McMahon still is planning to return to the company, and he's still looking to sell the company going forward. Vince McMahon takes actions to support the plan for the WWE to undertake strategic alternatives to capture the unique opportunity to maximize long-term value for all shareholders. That is according to the press release around this whole story. Whereas Vince McMahon, who has been the co-controlling shareholder of the World Wrestling Entertainment, announced today that he has taken the necessary actions to position his company to capitalize on a unique opportunity to maximize long-term value for all WWE shareholders. To actions communicated to the WWE Board of Directors today via written consent include the election of the board of Mr. McMahon, as well as Michelle Wilson and George Barrios, who I just explained earlier in the video, were part of the board of directors when Vince McMahon was in charge of the company before he eventually consented and retired from the WWE. Former WWE co-presidents of the board members, and currently the co-founders and CEO of the ISOS Capital Management, and the requisite to remove the board of the three directors. Mr. McMahon expects to assume the role of executive chairman of the board. Just to close this out real quickly, Mr. McMahon's new role will enable his unified decision-making through the company's upcoming media rights negotiations as a parallel full review of the company's strategic alternatives, which Mr. McMahon believes is the right course of action and in the best interest of the WWE and the WWE shareholders amidst the current dynamics in the media and entertainment industry. As Mr. McMahon has communicated to the board, he believes that there is a narrow window of opportunity to create a significant value for all shareholders, and that is to do so, the strategic alternatives review must occur in tandem with the media rights negotiations. He has also expressed to the board that he believes the two initiatives require Mr. McMahon's direct participation, leadership, and support as controlling shareholder of the business. As WWE is entering a critical juncture in its history with the upcoming media rights negotiations, conceding with increased industry-wide demand for the quality content and live events, with more companies seeking to own the intellectual property of their platforms, places like Apple, places like Universal Studios, USA Network. You can name a bunch of places that right now want to capitalize on owning the WWE. They're seeking the own intellectual property on their own platforms, said Mr. McMahon. The only way for the WWE to fully capitalize on this opportunity for me is to return the executive chairman and support the management team to negotiate for our media rights and to combine with the review of strategic alternatives. My review will allow WWE as well as transaction counterparts to engage in these processes, knowing that they will have the support of the controlling shareholder. This is coming from the Wrestling Observer, or WrestlingNews.com, per the Wall Street Journal. Vince McMahon wants to come in right now and he wants to sell the company. That is the only reason why WWE or Vince McMahon wants to come back to this company right now. He wants to sell it. Vince McMahon wants to get his greedy little paws back on this company so he can sell it, while WWE right now is in the middle of getting ready for their build to WrestleMania. Now they got this on their hands. This is the last thing. The last thing that Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, William Regal, Road Dogg, Nick Khan, and any of these people want to have is have Vince McMahon and his team get involved with this company, who Vince McMahon is still being accused of sexual allegations by many counterparts. Vince McMahon wants to come in and he wants to try to spoil everything with the WWE after what Triple H and his company has tried to build together. It's just, it disappoints me. It makes me sad. It makes me very, very disappointed overall. But does anybody really surprised that Vince McMahon wants to come back to the WWE? No. No, absolutely not. Because Vince McMahon also probably sees what Triple H and his hard work has done, bringing back all these fired wrestlers that Vince McMahon had that he thought had made no use. The fact the company is getting over way more compared to what it was before. I understand that eventually Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan want to get out of this company. Nick Khan was probably brought into this company to eventually sell it. But when you're getting ready for your WrestleMania season, Royal Rumble is around the corner. Now, this could be just absolutely nothing. The board of directors can end up vetoing this decision. But remember, Vince McMahon holds the power when it comes to the shareholders. So it sounds like Vince McMahon is not coming back initially just to become creative director of this company. It sounds like Vince McMahon wants to come back, and what he wants to do is he wants to take control of the company and then put them in a position to sell them going forward. I'm just absolutely... You know what? In a way, I should not be surprised. I should not be surprised that this is happening. Vince McMahon is just not the type of person that is going to sit back and do nothing. Especially when he sees the success that his son-in-law has been doing with the company. He's brought back every single person that Vince McMahon thought he had no value in. He's spiked the company's interest. The WWE has not been as good a shape in years compared to what Triple H has done right now with this business. And Vince McMahon probably caught wind of this, and he decided, I'm going to come back. I'm going to take back over this company, because you know he never wanted to be ousted out of the WWE. Because of the allegations, he figured I'm going to step away for the best of interest for the company. And now He's trying to come back in and get his greedy little paws on the WWE again. I'm just disappointed. I really am. This can end up being a story that amounts to nothing, or this can end up being a story that absolutely is an absolute disaster for the WWE. This could be an out-and-out disaster for World Wrestling Entertainment going forward. If Vince McMahon somehow gets back in control of the WWE to try and sell it, and he takes away the power from his daughter, from Nick Khan, and his son-in-law, because Vince McMahon is a greedy SOB. He doesn't give a damn. He doesn't give a damn about what the WWE fans think. He doesn't give a damn about what the WWE locker room thinks. He doesn't give a damn about what anybody thinks. All Vince McMahon cares about is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He knows that he's a 70-plus-year-old man, almost in his 80s. He has no use for the company. He doesn't give a damn what others think. He just wants to do what's best for Vince McMahon. And he'd rather see his damn product die than to watch it flourish under the hands of somebody else. I know JD from New York has mentioned this. Monster has mentioned this. Other big-time podcasters have mentioned this. My guy DJ Storms, Earl Cole, other wrestling guys, Philly Sports Talk Podcast. Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit about the WWE. He doesn't care. But am I surprised about this, something like this coming out? No! Why should anybody be surprised with this kind of story coming out about the WWE and about Vince McMahon? It just sucks. It really does. It sucks. Because WWE is going into the most pivotal part of their company right now, looking for negotiation rights in broadcasting deals. Eventually want to have new deals with Fox and USA. They're thriving right now. The interest has never been higher in this company. And then here comes Vince McMahon. Coming right back into the deal. Coming right back into the story. And what happens if he does take control of the board of directors again? Ousts his daughter. Ousts Nick Khan. Brings his two cronies back in. Rips away control from Triple H again. Then what? What's the future of the WWE going forward? I shudder to think, and I get scared of what could possibly happen to this company. It could be the downfall of WWE. Now, like I mentioned, this could end up being nothing. Nothing could happen from it. Vince McMahon can end up changing his mind in the end, or the shareholders can eventually veto it somehow. Maybe Stephanie gets in his ears and convinces him otherwise. Something obviously can go the other way. But when you hear something like this, it is definitely a cause for concern. It really is. The fact that Vince McMahon is working hard to return to the company, and his main goal is to not help this company thrive in the future. He just wants to sell it off to the next biggest component. Take away the power from his daughter and Nick Khan. Take away the power from his son-in-law. And bury this company going forward. Now, I hope to God I'm wrong. I really do. But I do not like hearing what I'm hearing about this story. I don't. I don't at all. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. But Vince McMahon and his two cronies, Michelle Wilson, Mark Barrios, are planning on getting back into the WWE via Board of the Directors, since he is the majority shareholders. Take control back of the WWE. We don't know what this means for Stephanie and Nick Khan, because they've been taking over as the co-CEOs, and Stephanie McMahon has been named as chairwoman. Vince McMahon could easily take those two job titles away from them. And then what happens next with this company? What happens next with the WWE? I just had to throw this out there because I really wonder what could be next. And with all the excitement going around the WWE, with this news, this could potentially be, if it somehow goes through, a catastrophic major blow to the WWE if Vince McMahon somehow gets in control of this company again. Whether he's going to sell it or whether he's going to take control of the company, be involved with creative a little bit, and then try to sell it off to the biggest company. What's going to happen with all these other people that have been in contact with it? So we'll wait and see what's going to happen with this updated story. But I wanted to get this out here. Vince McMahon right now is planning on returning to the company. He's working on returning to the company. And he submitted an open letter to the board via the Wall Street Journal with George Barrios and Michelle Wilson as his board of directors counterparts to take control back of the WWE and eventually pitch to sell it to the highest bidders. Thank you very much, everybody. Let me know what you think in the video. Let your comments be known in the comment section. Have a great rest of your night. Take it easy. Let's see what the WWE has planned for us the rest of this week leading into the build for the Royal Rumble.